Hello, welcome to the live broadcast. We are in a workshop today, and I'm really excited that you've come to the one-page business plan workshop. So if you're watching now, please put in the chat where you're from and what sort of therapy that you would like to do. I'd love to hear in the chat where you're from. I'm here in the UK. So looking forward to seeing you all on the stream. I know there are people coming from all over the world. So drop in the chat where you're from. Let me see. We've got Bless in the Philippines. And anyone else? Drop in the chat where you're from. Okay, we've got a lot to do today, so I'm excited. I thank you very much for coming on this workshop, and let's get started. So I'm going to share my screen with you today. So I hope you can see it all. Can you all see that? Just drop it in the chat if you can see that. Yes. Okay, great. Right, so let me just take that off there. So today we are looking at creating your one-page business plan as a speech and language therapist. And I think this is crucial, but sometimes we get all kind of worked up thinking, oh, a business plan, got to go and give it to my bank manager, and there's so much in it. But let's get the basics right. Let's get clarity on what your business is going to be about. So I'm going to help you create a clear roadmap for your online speech therapy practice in just one page. Yes, it doesn't have to be a long-winded affair. You can do this. And if you're planning for your telepractice, then we're going to go step by step through this process. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to walk you through creating a simple, powerful one-page business plan that turns your telepractice vision into a clear, actionable roadmap. So who's all up for that? Can you see that? Can you see my screen okay? Okay, great. So I've got a special bonus for you, just for you, if you stay until the end. And you will have got some emails about it if you've registered for this special bonus. But you have to give me the secret word. So at the end of this broadcast, I will share with you the secret words so that you can get these 3 amazing bonuses. Bonus 1 is the business one-page business plan with additional prompts for SLPs. And then we've also got the SOAP template and the ultimate workshop workbook. So where you put everything all in one place and so you can feel organized. So I'd really appreciate if you could turn off all your distractions and make sure that you're watching on a full screen, because you'll really miss some things on a mobile. So this workshop for you is for you if you are tired of working overworked, underpaid in your current 9-to-5 job, and you dream of getting some more money, working less, and I want to help you strategically design your career path for a greater work-life balance. And this workshop is for you if you're stuck, if you feel you're just like offering generic services with no sense of direction. So we're going to design personalized services that align with your professional strengths and your client needs. And this workshop is for you if you are feeling overwhelmed, if you're overwhelmed by the idea of setting up your own private practice, and you're thinking, well, I've got to develop this streamlined business plan with actionable, achievable strategies. And this workshop is for you if you are frustrated, you're longing for more control over your time and income, and you want to create a practice that clearly reflects your professional vision and your personal values. So tell me, out of those things, if you resonate with any of those feelings, how you're feeling at the moment. Drop in the chat how you're feeling. Love to know. Okay, I want to tell you about my journey to career freedom. So I graduated in 1990. Yes, I'm that old. And I started practicing in the public sector, working for the NHS. And then I moved to the Isle of Wight in 1999. And I worked for a specialist school for pupils with developmental language disorder aged between 8 to 17. And then I was invited to become the manager of that school. But do you know what? I had other plans. So what I did is I worked part-time and I did a bit of a side hustle. So I had a Saturday clinic that I set up. And then in 2006, I fully transitioned to private play, clients, locum contracts, and I set up my own home-based clinic. And then in 2019, I bought my own office building, which is this building, and it became a sort of like a clinic, really, away from the home setting, if you like. But actually, it's at the bottom of my garden. So my traditional therapy shifted in 2015. Okay, so from 2006 to 2015, I just saw my clients here in this office or in my home office, and or I'd go out in schools and things like that. But then everything changed in 2015 when I got my first non-verbal Italian student, and I don't speak a word of Italian, but he wasn't able to speak. You know, he had no means of communication, no ASC in place, so no alternative augmentative communication. And so I thought, right, I've got to make this work. And he needed to pass 5 oral exams. It was critical as part of the Italian system to pass these 5 school exams. And so I trained the staff, I trained the peers, and I trained him to pass all these exams using AAC. And they were on various subjects like Ungaretti and Picasso and World War One. But bearing in mind, he had a comprehension level of a 4-year-old, I'd say. So it was, you know, I had to do color-coded and symbols and all that sort of thing. So yeah, it was challenging, but he managed to pass his exams. And it made me think, and I was thinking, well, this is amazing. If I saw all my clients online, wouldn't that be amazing? I thought to myself. And so I did. I shifted everything to online. All my clients I saw online, even the local ones. And it meant that I was able to ramp up my business using the power of online advertising. And I was able to not just see clients in my local area, but to see clients all over the world. I've seen clients all over the UK and in Nigeria even. I had a stammerer there. I've seen people in Canada. I've seen people in France, Italy, Germany, all over the world, you know, Dubai. So that was just so amazing. And I soon realized that I could earn more in 2 days in my own online practice, on my own terms, with my own autonomy, more freedom, than in a whole week working for someone else. And this was the start of a whole new chapter in my life. one of autonomy, freedom, and ultimate career satisfaction. And I would love for you to be able to have this experience on your journey. So this is John. John came to me and came on my course, and he said Bev's resources are incredibly comprehensive, making the process so much easier than expected. So John had in-person speech therapy practices, one in London and one in New Zealand, and he wanted to put everything online. And so this course, he says, gave me the tools and the support I needed to make that happen. And then we've got here Valentina, who is a speech therapist in Italy. And she said that it was really useful to get organized. She didn't know where to begin, but when she got started, it feels amazing. So thanks to this course, I've been able to see clients worldwide, juggle with my new baby, and even create a parent coaching program, which is such a game changer. So I want to share with you, this is the guy that I saw. So not only did it allow me to do the therapy with him online, but I had so much more to offer. It meant that I could actually go to Italy and I could train the staff. So you can't actually see me. I'm in that green outfit there, but I'm actually, you know, if you have a look here, that's where I was. I was in Italy, in the school, training the staff. So let me just show you a little bit of the video. This is me signing.
K. Water.
So I taught them sign language. And I taught them how to use the software. And this is me talking to the carer. And Piero is interacting with his peers. And it actually boosted his confidence so much. So not only did it give me an opportunity to train other people, I was able to see him in a different light as well. But also, doing it online allowed me to have that freedom where I could work part-time and I could also homeschool my youngest child. And this is my son here. I was able to pay for his online education, his school, and this is him talking about his school.
Hi, Toby. Okay, what have you been up to today?
I've done nearly all of my homework.
Yeah, what did you do this morning?
I did my weekly spelling challenge, MASH.
Okay.
And then I did my algebra homework.
Okay, right.
From Ella.
Yep.
And then I did my geography homework from Sam.
Okay, that's brilliant.
So you can see that doing it online allowed me to have that freedom to actually be with my family. And that is one of my core values. It's my family, freedom, and allowed me to use my creativity as well. So let's have a look at the statistics. Look at the projected growth of the speech therapy services market. In 2023, the market size is worth $34.5 billion US. And in 2030, it is projected to reach 63.8 billion. So, you know, you can see how that market value is going to grow so much. And if you look at the kind of clients that are around the world with all sorts of, needs, whether it's dyslexia or hearing loss or stuttering or autism, or post stroke therapy or developmental delays, there is so much need around the world. So this is what you're going to learn today. You're going to learn how to understand and define your target market. You're going to learn how to tailor your service portfolio to meet their needs, and you're going to design your pricing structure and systems to streamline your business. And then we're going to put everything together in a plan so that it becomes an actionable business plan. So I'm going to take you through these steps, step by step. You can see they're all color coded. I do love my colors. So the first step is we're going to define your ideal client. Then we're going to design your service portfolio. Then we're going to set your pricing, and then we're going to create the one-page business plan. Okay, are you all ready? Type yes in the chat if you're ready. Let's get to it. Right, so the biggest lesson that I'd learned is shifting my mindset. Mindset is everything. They say it's 80% of running a business is mindset. So I want you to write down, either in your notebook or in the chat as well, that'd be really good to know, is what decisions do you fear most about transitioning to private practice? So write in the chat where what sort of work you do, whether you're working in a school or working in clinics or hospitals, in the community or whatever it is. Write that down and then tell me, or write down, what decisions do you fear most about transitioning to private practice? Because we all have fears, but we need to have them written down so that we can conquer those fears. Because entrepreneurship is not about working for yourself. It's about creating a way to help others on your terms. So I've got a few questions I want you to think about. Is why did you become an SLP in the first place? It's crucial that you know, why did you become an SLP in the first place? Okay. And what frustrates you about your current therapy delivery? Write that down in your notes. And what would your ideal therapy day look like? So my ideal therapy day at the moment is I wake up, I can get my own cup of tea, come down to the clinic, and I have a list of clients that I'm seeing. I can decide, in advance, obviously, I can decide, right, I only want to work in the morning, say, and I can schedule those clients just for the morning. Sometimes I'm a bit of a late bird, really, and some of my clients, because they're abroad, I have to work late at night. But that means then I can have the afternoon off, and I can see those, American clients or whatever later on in the evening. So there's a lot of flexibility. Thank you for your questions. They will be answered at the end, so keep them going. So once you've answered those questions, why you need a mission and a vision, right? Shifting from like working in a school to setting your own rules is a different mindset, okay? So you need to have your mission and your vision as a compass in those uncertain times, because it's not going to be all plain sailing. We do need to know what our goals are and what we see as our mission. So the mission statement is something you really need to consider. Is what do you do, who do you serve, and how do you help them? So here's an example. I empower children with speech delays through a personalized, engaging therapy. What about you? What would you write as your mission statement? Remember what you do, who you serve, and how you help them. And then your vision is your aspirations for the next 5 to 10 years. What are your aspirations for the next 5 to 10 years? Now, I know when I first started off, I thought, I want to pay off my mortgage early. And actually, last year, I paid off our mortgage, which is just, hooray, just such a weight off my... That's something I wanted to do. And the reason why I wanted to do it is because I wanted to bring my husband back home from his corporate job. You hear that so much, don't you? My husband's a lawyer and he works really long hours. Actually, he's a partner in a law firm, and he was getting really, really tired. It was affecting his health, and I wanted to bring him home, basically. So he's got one more year before he retires as well, and we don't have a mortgage. So knowing what your aims are, what your goals are, that's what's going to keep it alive for you. But also knowing what you're going to give out and how you're going to serve those people. That's also what's going to excite you and keep you going. So this is an example: to create a leading teletherapy practice known for innovation in care. I want to be known for solving people's problems, So recently I just got a new client who, an elderly man who used to be a property developer. He's only in his early 60s, and has got a huge property portfolio, but he's lost his ability to communicate about those things. Now, I've worked mainly with children for 20 odd years, and only recently have I started working with adults who've had strokes, because I feel well I have so much knowledge and understanding about language and how it's organized, when we've done that with children, I can actually put that into working with adults as well. So I'm working with him to sort of build up his vocabulary again with all the words to do with property, because that's what he wants to talk about. I don't know very much about property development, but I'm learning, and with the use of ChatGPT, I've got a whole list of words that he would talk about, and then I've put those words into simple sentences. I've used pictures, so I've used my creativity to get him talking again, and it's just amazing. So define your core values, and these core values shape every aspect of your practice. It shapes your pricing, it shapes your scheduling, it shapes your client selection. So again, I'll give you the example that my core value, my family is very important, freedom's very important, and the fact that I've got 30 odd years of experience, you need to value that. So I don't give away my services cheaply, and it has to fit into my family's lifestyle as well. So if someone wants to see me on a Sunday, I won't see them on a Sunday, because I'm a Christian, I go to church, I can't see people on a Sunday. So it's just knowing what is important to you, and that determines all the other things as well. So tell me what your core values are. Write them in the chat below. So mine, I would say freedom, I would say flexibility, and family. Those are the 3 core values that are important to me. And Nafisa's saying freedom to plan and seek for myself. Bless is saying freedom. Yeah. So creativity is also one of my core values, because I love making my therapy creative, but also relevant to the clients. Like I said, with this property guy, or with the doctor that I work with who had a lisp. It was medical terms that were relevant to him. And freedom, the flexibility for the therapist as well as for the families. And innovation is another thing. Okay, so some questions for you. How do these values influence your decisions? And what would you take on a late afternoon client despite your family commitments? And how would you assess a new platform fit for practice? So, for example, I would say I don't like seeing clients sort of in a window where it's tea time for my kids. Say, for instance, I want to spend time with my younger son. I've not got him for that long. He's about to go off to university. So when he comes back from college, I want to sit and have a cup of tea and a chat with him. So I wouldn't put a client in at that time. And again, early in the morning, when getting ready for school, again, I wouldn't put clients in at that time. But also it does depend, because sometimes like my Dubai clients, I have to see them really, really early in the morning. So you need to have a little bit of flexibility. So then you have to break it down into achievable goals. So maybe month 1, I'm going to set up my telehealth platform. I'm going to choose one, I'm going to set it up. Month 3, I'm going to get my 3 private pay clients. And then month 6, I'm going to have that consistent weekly schedule. Okay, knowing how many hours you can allocate each time. So every big goal begins with a small intentional step forward. When your values align with your mission and vision, every decision becomes clearer. So now we're going to look at pricing for value and freedom. And pricing isn't just about covering your costs. It's about making you feel valued and creating a life that gives you the freedom you designed this practice for. So I'm going to help you figure this out, because one of the mistakes I made initially was underpricing my services to compete with others, and this led to wasted time and resources. So it's really learning to align your pricing with the value, with your expertise, and with your knowledge. So let's just figure it out together. All right, so first of all, we need to work out, what do you want to take home after all the deductions, after all the tax and the insurance and all that sort of thing. So I put it in pounds, but you can put it in dollars, whatever it is. This is just a rough thing I've worked out. Okay, so I've put down 40k. And then what I need to do next is I need to add on 30% of that, which is 12,000. Add that on. Then I have to add on any business expenses, the telehealth platform that I'm going to use, any subscriptions or professional services, accountants, whatever. If I had rent, it'd probably be a bit more, but I don't have rent. But, all those sort of expenses, you put that on there. And then you add that all together and it comes to 54,400. And then I think to myself, well, how many weeks of the year do I want to work? So when I had children who were at school, I didn't want to work in the holidays. So I only wanted to work the 38 weeks of the school year. And then how many hours in that week did I want to work for? I'd say 15, which is about 2 to 3 days. Then you times the 38 by 15, and you've got 570 hours. And then what you do is you then divide the 54,400 by the 570 hours, and you get an hourly rate of £95.44, which is about $120. and then you add a 10% profit. So the hourly rate becomes £104, 98, just round it up to 105 or whatever, which is about $130. Okay, so that was just a rough way of, this is the way you think about pricing, and your take home pay might be more than that. Okay, so that's up to you. I've got a pricing calculator that actually takes you through all those questions. So it will ask you questions like, how much do you want to earn? Your gross annual, and then how many days do you want to work? How many hours do you want to work? And it goes through all those questions, and it works it out for you. So that's a really good tool to have. But not only that, it also, as you can see down here in this section here, it looks at different income streams. So maybe you might want to run an in-person course, and it helps you work out how much all that would cost, and what goes into that, and how many students you would need, and how much you would charge each student. So yeah, that's a good thing to have. Right, so the tasks I want you to think about is set your pricing goals for your practice. And you can research your competitors' prices, but I don't want you to copy them. I want you to kind of like look at their pricing and then think about, how can you differentiate yourself from them? Okay, what do they offer? And then how can you offer something that is different? How can you stand out from them? So you consider how much your service, your product benefits your customers, and set a price that reflects that. And when you do your market analysis, you're looking at competitors that are charging similar services and products, to make sure that your prices are competitive. But you need to make sure that you align your pricing with your business goals, like attracting more clients, increasing your profits. And so you're going to combine these three factors: setting your pricing, making it fair, competitive, and making sure that it supports your business objectives. Okay, so in the chat, just let me know, what challenges have you faced in determining your pricing strategies? Write it down in the chat. Okay. And this is Nafisa. Nafisa's here online, actually. She is an SLT for neurodivergent youth. She's specialised. She's a highly specialist speech language therapist and a specialist teacher. She worked part-time for 21 years. And then she set up her private practice on Saturdays only, while she was still working at school. And she did that for 4 years, and then she transitioned to about a few months ago to solo, and she's got clients all over the UK and Germany. Now, what I want to share with you is that I wasn't always a highly paid speech therapist. Okay, I came from quite a humble background. I was born in Uganda, and my parents had to leave Uganda under the Idi Amin exile. When we moved to the UK, we lived in a government house, a government council house. And, this table here that you see got my cake on it for when I was 8 years old, 10 years old or something. But it's a table that was our dining room table, believe it or not. We had little chairs that would sit around that dining room table, and there'd be 5 of us around that table. But, I knew that I wanted to work with children. I wanted to work online, and I wanted to have that flexibility of working with my clients, but also have time with my children, my own family. And so I've set up my own private practice. This is me in my home, but it's allowed me to have that freedom where I could go and see my dad, for instance, when he was alive. He's not alive now, but when he was alive, I was able to take him out. I used to see my clients in the morning, and then I'd go and take him out in the afternoon. So I could just take my laptop to London and still carrying on seeing, or I could go and see my friends and meet up with them. And I could fit things around my work. And that's what I'd like for you too. And it's knowing also that it isn't just seeing clients on an hourly basis. There are different ways, different services that you can offer. You can offer assessment and therapy bundles. So one of my clients said to me, well, I actually want to book you intensely for 6 sessions. And the great thing about that is that he was willing to pay for 6 sessions all in one go. He goes, oh, is there a discount for that? I actually did give him a discount, because if someone's willing to pay and trust you straight away, I've only had 1 session with him, and then he's trusted me with 6 sessions all in one go, and they're like hourly sessions. Of course, I'm going to give him a little bit of a discount. But that's what you can do. You can bundle your therapy services and offer that incentive as well. And then there's parent coaching packages as well that you can offer. You could teach them online, or you could teach them. I started teaching them offline initially when I was transitioning from my 9 to 5 to doing my training sessions on a Saturday. But you can now do it online, and I've done that where I've offered training for parents as well. Now offer training for speech therapists, and having an online course is really, really useful to do, because then you can just sell them whenever you want, and you can let people know that it's either a DIY kind of course, or maybe it's an 8-week program or whatever. Like you can sell it that way. And then there's the monthly subscription models. Maybe they might want to say buy materials for you from you, home materials, and you might charge them a monthly fee, and each month you give them a new resource that they can use, and there's no sort of rebooking hassle. So one of my clients in Italy, he just wanted a subscription service. So he just wanted, he didn't want to have the invoice all the time, and I was just able to set a monthly subscription for him, and he just paid like that, which was a lot easier. So now we're going to go into designing your service portfolio and creating services based on what excites you and fulfills you. So your service portfolio development is about defining unique offerings as a speech therapist in a way that reflects your passions, your values, and your strengths. And this isn't just boring business stuff, right? Jargon. It's about the services that, really light you up. And that's, you only get to know about this when you do things. So for example, I don't really like working with little kiddies anymore. I used to do that, but I don't do it now because I'm older and I can't crawl around the floor, and I know I need to change the activities so much. I did it online. You've got to make it very interactive and all that sort of thing, and have a green screen and change your activities. That I can't do it anymore. So I know that's what I need to do. And so my service has changed. I love working with adults. I love working with older children and teenagers. And so just work out who you love working with and what are the kind of clients you want and how it's going to fit into your lifestyle. So when your services reflect what you love, clients will naturally be drawn to you because your passion shines through. So again, I'm going to ask you, why did you transition to private practice? What aspects of therapy spark joy for you? And what kind of freedom and flexibility do you want in your career? I'll just give you a few minutes to just think about those questions. Okay, and if you feel like you want to write it in the chat, please do. Okay. So, identifying your signature services. What specific areas of speech therapy excite you? Is it early intervention? Is it sort of early language? Is it AAC? Is it fluency work? What sort of things excite you? Let me know in the chat if any of those things excite. So when I started working with Piero, I thought, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this? I don't even speak Italian. And so, but you know, it's not about how. That's a lesson I learned. It's not about how do I do it. It's like, who can I get to help me? And then I realized that actually the guy who was sitting next to him, his carer, Giovanni, was an excellent, he spoke excellent English. And so all I needed to do is to train him how to use the iPad that had the symbol overlays that I'd made, the grids, and I had to teach him how to program it. Now, I could have gone, oh no, how do I do this online? But I knew that he was willing to learn, and he was a person who learned it very quickly. So it's not always how, it's like, who can I get to learn from or get to do this? And then I want you to think about which age groups do you enjoy working most with? And as I said, I enjoy working with children sort of like age 7 plus, and teenagers. Teenagers are really funny, even the grumpy ones. I enjoy working with them, and adults, you know, who have lost their communication skills, have got this really passion in something, whatever it is. I get all excited because it's like, oh, I get to learn something new. You know, I know nothing about property, or I know nothing about medicine, I know nothing about carpentry, but I get to learn about these things because those are things that light them up, and I want them to be able to communicate about them too. So I personally, this is an example, I personally prefer working with kids age 8 and up, or teenagers, and I love training parents to support their children effectively at home. That might be something that you might say. Have a think about what you will say, what really lights you up. And write down the top 3 favorite therapy areas and age groups. And maybe if you want to share one therapy approach you love and why it resonates with you and resonates with your style. So I've got a bit of a cold, so that's why I'm sipping water at the moment. Okay. I think I can hear you also. I could kind of feel that you're all scribbling things down, which is really good. You're getting those brains working. Right, so showcasing your creativity. Your creativity sets you apart, okay? You know, because I think sometimes we might think, oh, there's other people who could do, you know, fluency work or dyslexia or whatever your speciality is. And you might kind of think, oh, well, will they come to me? You know, but your unique style of delivering therapy isn't about competing. It's about highlighting what makes you special to those families who want to work with you. Because there is a reason why they come to you rather than going to someone else. So for me, when I was working with ASC clients, I want to focus on making it practical and making it fun. So, you know, I would have I had one lady who had her parents were in South Africa, and she couldn't speak at all. But she wanted to talk to her dad, and she wanted to ask him how he was, and what he's been up to, and tell her about what her 13-year-old son was doing, and things like that. And I set up her communication aid, which was an iPad again, with those things, and we got the parents to come online as well from South Africa, and they were able to talk to each other, and that was something practical, fun, but also really personal, and it's making sure that you bring out your innovative ways and your creative ways to let your therapy shine, and that you design sessions that work with the busy lives of both your clients and yourself. Okay. So what would you want a parent or a client to say about you after a session? Now, I know when I spoke to those parents, they wanted to be able to speak to their daughter who'd had a severe stroke, and they wanted to know about what was happening in her life, and they never thought this was possible, that they could talk to her and she could tell them about what her son's been doing, and what her husband's been doing, or whatever, so it's important that you want to know what they're going to say about you. So this is Howard, who's Piera's dad, and one of the things he said to me, that what really impressed me about Bev was the care and precision of her preparation. A lot of preparation went into that, particularly since there were 5 different PowerPoints on subjects that I didn't know anything about. Like, who's heard of Ungaretti? Obviously you've heard about Picasso, but there were lots of different topics that I didn't know anything about, but I had to distill them down into a PowerPoint presentation, symbol based, color coded, and at a 5-year-old level, so that you only had to hit two hits at a time to make a sentence. It was a lot to do, but a lot of care and precision went into that. So it goes beyond, when we're looking at who we want to work with, it goes beyond just the surface level demographics, like where they live and how old they are and all that sort of thing. It's about, are they parents or preschoolers worried about school readiness? Are they working parents who need after school or weekend sessions? Are they families in rural areas with limited access to therapy? Are they international families seeking expert English-speaking therapists? You really need to know, who are these clients that you want to attract? So these are some of the examples that I've encountered. I've worked with families in rural parts of the UK with no access to in-person therapy, and they've been waiting on waiting lists for such a long time. So, they haven't got a car to go to these places. But yeah, I've also worked with working parents needing online sessions at flexible hours. So like I talked about, seeing a child in Dubai in really early hours. It's quite funny, really, because I was probably still in my pajamas, or I had my pajama bottoms on and a jumper at the top, but we were trying to do actions, and he was on his trampoline. It was like in the morning for him, and we were doing these various activities. So it's trying to be flexible, but also innovative at the same time. So I've seen parents in Nigeria, France, and Italy, and I really didn't think I'd find a client in Nigeria, but it just so happened that her sister was in London, saw my ad, and it got me working with the nephew in Nigeria. And not only did I work with him with his stammer, the sessions were recorded so that they could then be used as a training opportunity for the parent to share with the school staff, which is just a brilliant way of using your therapy skills. So, who are your clients? Are they tech-savvy professionals, healthcare workers, educators, or stay-at-home parents? And what tools and platforms do they prefer? And how comfortable are they with digital communication? Now, I know that recently I was with this client, and usually the son is usually with him, and he's much more tech savvy. But for some reason he couldn't be available. So the wife was there, and she wasn't very tech savvy, and she started panicking with the tech and all that sort of thing. And in the end, you sort of think, well, how can I get over this? I knew that she could do FaceTime or WhatsApp video call, and that's what we did. We ended up doing the call on as a video call on WhatsApp, and I still did the activities that I planned to do with him. I just had to change it slightly because of the tech problem. So, I got her getting various items from the kitchen, and we talked about them. So we're now going to go into step 3, which is to set your pricing, balance your ideal income, your goals, and your lifestyle. So we've talked about pricing, and we've talked about it not just covering your costs, but making sure that you're valued. And we've also talked about using competition as inspiration. Okay, instead of seeing it as a threat, we use it as inspiration to stand out and serve your niche. So you're asking yourself, what resonates with me about their approach? What is it about their approach that I like, and what unique gaps are there that I can actually fill in a creative way? So, there are niche markets out there and that really need your help. There might be, Black teenagers who are excluded from school, like Nafisa deals with, or, there might be other clients that you want to impact in a unique way. So map out your competitors. Think about the local SLPs that are offering teletherapy. Think about your online therapy platforms and your school-based telepractice services. And then I want you to also analyze all the main services, your ideal audience that you want to serve, and then your pricing structure and how you stand out from the crowd. And so if I was to think about the tools for launching, I would, you'd get your professional Zoom, which is HIPAA compliant, $150, I think, a year. Your therapy materials. Now, I used to have all my therapy materials, obviously, as real things, if you know what I mean, like a real duck and a real, springy thing, or whatever the toys I had at the time. Okay, but now I've got all my resources in a digital resource folder, a filing cabinet, I call it, and I use those instead. And as I make new resources, I put them into that filing cabinet. Then there's a website which can cost between $500 to $1,000. And then other equipment that you might have, like an overhead camera, or obviously a webcam and things like that. So those are the sort of startup costs. And then you've got the software subscriptions. So you need to think about email marketing software. You need to think about your practice management, how to keep your notes together, a documentation system. You've got to think about a marketing budget, your professional insurance, and any professional development courses and things like that you're going to budget for. And then you always have a 10% buffer just for those unexpected expenses, like your, I don't know, like you might want another screen, for instance, you know. I do advise having 2 screens, because when I work with my clients, I'm seeing one thing on one screen and I'm sharing the other screen, like I'm doing now. And then you calculate your income goals, you know, what you want to earn on the monthly level, whether it's going to be session rates, individual rates, number of weekly hours, and then you'll calculate your income target as well. And then there's obviously non-billable time as well. There's time that you spend on admin, there's time that you spend on marketing, and your prep time as well. So all those need to be factored into your pricing as well. And as I said, you need to think about your headset, your webcam, and any backup internet, just in case you do get interrupted service. So your next steps are looking at your competitor research, analyzing your competition really thoroughly. Where are the gaps? How can you fill them in? Looking at your tools, investing in those essential tools and software. Now, one of the tools that I love using is called Easy Peasy. And the reason why I love using it is because I can run courses on it. So when I have clients who, like the guy in Nigeria, I can actually create a course just for that client, and I can give them a portal that they can have access to, that they can then share with other people if they want to, you know, in their communication environment. When I was working with someone in Czechoslovakia, he had unusual vows, and he wanted me to set all the sessions up in a course. So I sold that as a package to him, as well as the therapy sessions. So Easy Peasy allows me to set courses. It allows me to do my invoicing in advance. So when I went, like, you know, this guy wanted 6 1-hour sessions and wanted to pay all in advance, I was able to send him that payment link in advance, and it went straight into my account. Then he was able to book the sessions on my calendar. And he's able to see my calendar to share his. So that's within Easy Peasy as well, sharing my calendar so that he can book the sessions in there. And if they need to be rescheduled, I can reschedule them, or he can reschedule them, as long as he gives me that 24-hour notice. So it's got lots of different tools inside of it, as well as obviously creating websites, creating funnels and things like that. And then think about the financial planning and the launch preparation as well, when you are ready to get out there and tell everyone that you've started your practice. Revenue planning. Revenue planning is just keep it simple. You don't need to have complicated spreadsheets to plan your revenue. Start with the basics and just focus on how many families can you realistically serve. And does your schedule allow for, you know, your values, your freedom, and that balance, and the ideal number of sessions to keep you energized and effective. And then you are thinking about profit and sustainability. Now, this is like, you know, this is a 3-pronged approach, really. You're looking at the focus, you know, because this business needs to be fulfilling. It's not just about surviving. It's about making sure that it's fulfilling and it's meeting people's needs, but it's also meeting your needs. It also needs to be profitable. So don't just give away lots of free hours of free time. You know, make sure that you set those boundaries and make it really clear, because some clients can actually take advantage and say, you know, spend like half an hour on the WhatsApp with you, you know, on the phone or whatever, trying to pick your brains. So you really need to kind of have those boundaries as well, and have your guidelines in terms of your cancellation policy and things like that, so that, you know, you really know how you are serving them, and you're not sort of being taken advantage of, really. And think about how you need to save sometimes for those quieter periods. So for example, like I said, I don't work in the holiday period, so what I earn during the rest of the time I allocate to my quieter periods during the summer. And then you might decide that you might want to, say, run a course in the summer, for instance, if it is a quieter period, and that could be another source of income. So it's just, you know, thinking about things in a more creative way, and you know, you're thinking about your personal growth as well as how you can sustain it. Okay, so not trying to do everything all at the same time. So now we're on step 4, which is creating your one-page business plan. I know I'm going through all this really quickly. Is everyone okay? Just type yes in the chat if you're okay. Okay, we're going to go into the one-page business plan. Let me just share this. Now, all this stuff that I've shared with you is going to be in your workbook. So stay until the end and I will tell you what the secret words are so that you could get all those 3 bonuses at the end. So this is the one-page business plan. Okay, you're going to write down your big goal. You're going to talk about your values, your boundaries. You're going to think about who you really want to serve. Okay, and you're going to think about the problems that they have, the solutions to those problems. So if you know, they are feeling, I don't know, like I had one chap who said, you know, my child is just about to go off to school, secondary school, and she's got this lisp and I don't want her to get bullied, you know, so she's conscious about the lisp, say, for instance. That is the problems. How are you going to solve it? I know that I've got a 6-week lisp therapy plan. I know exactly what I'm doing for each of those weeks, and I can tell them on a call, if they were to come on a demo call, I'd tell them exactly how I would work with them. So that's my solution. That's my 6-week lisp therapy course. So just think about your solutions. Think about products that you might be selling. Maybe they might be digital products. They might be sort of activities that you've made that you're thinking about selling on Teachers Pay Teachers, or maybe they're journals. Maybe there might be items of clothing or books. I don't know. But have a think about all the different types of things that you could sell. I mean, I sell some journals on my website. So there's other products that you can sell as well. And then write down the big projects that you have. Maybe your big project might be, right, I want to have a website. I want to make sure that I've got those 4 pages, the home, the about me page, the services page, and the contact page. And then maybe later down the line, I might want to have a blog, you know, because if I get SEO rich content in there, then people are more likely to find me. You know, if I'm a fluency expert, then I can talk about stammering all day long and I can have all these blogs about it and people are more likely to find me through the blog. So, you know, have a think about that. And then think about your daily actions. You know, what are you going to do every single day in order to reach that big goal, in order to fulfill those big projects? So that was a lot. I covered a lot there. Where could you be in 30 days if you implemented all this? Where do you think you'd be in 30 days if you implemented all this? You could take everything that I've shared with you and go and do it. But the reality is that most people won't. But I want you to succeed. So do you want to hear a little bit more? Yeah. Okay. So what if you could build a thriving private practice, expand your income streams with courses and digital products, and achieve the financial freedom you've always dreamed of together? What if that could be your possibility? And that's why I created the BRAVE system, the BRAVE framework. it's simplifying, starting growing your private practice with clear steps. It avoids mistakes like underpricing and wasting money on websites, and it saves time and money with everything in one place. No need for multiple coaches. And you can gain confidence to build a sustainable, organized business. So let me show you the steps. Step 1 is busting through those barriers. So why does it matter? You need to overcome those fears, self-doubt that hold you back from growing your telepractice. You need to learn tactics to overcome your imposter syndrome, set those God-inspired goals and boost that productivity. And you need to develop a confident mindset, clear vision to focus on with a sense of purpose so that you can focus on that. And then R is refining business knowledge. Like, we went to college to learn about speech therapy. We didn't learn anything about business. But we do need to have that solid foundation about business, essential business knowledge for that long-term success. Think about the legal requirements, the financial requirements, management, and to develop systems aligned with your goals, to gain that confidence in managing your business efficiently and professionally from the start. And then A stands for achieving expertise and attracting those clients. You have to build that strong brand. You need to stand out from the crowd. People need to know, like, this is a person who is really good with working with Black teenagers who are excluded from school, whatever your niche is. Okay. You need to stand out from that crowded market, and you need to have strategies to define your niche, craft your offers, your pricing, your branding, or your marketing. It needs to be compelling, and you need to have that clarity, that confidence, and the tools to attract and to engage with your perfect clients. The V stands for valuing your marketing and the client acquisition. So as your business grows, you're thinking of other marketing strategies, using social media, using storytelling techniques, thinking about email sequences, building your email list, and thinking about the content that you're putting out there so that clients can find you and engage with you, and they can find you with ease. And then E is expanding and achieving financial stability. This is where you think about other streams of income. It isn't just about that hourly rate. It's about, well, how can I create this resource? Maybe I might be able to use ChatGTP to create a course outline on solving, I don't know, a Lisp, say, for instance. Or maybe I could create an ebook on a specific topic of my expertise, and I can sell that. So building other income streams is really important for your financial foundation. And then on top of that is all the tech stuff. So there's a bonus module, which are the tech tools, because I know tech can be a bit mind-blowing, can't it? A bit overwhelming. So you need to learn the digital tools for marketing, for booking your clients, on calendars, and how to communicate with your clients in email and things like that, so that you can grow your speech therapy practice efficiently. So that is the BRAVE system that I've just gone through. And I want to tell you about the Teletherapy Thrive system. It's an all-in-one solution for building a successful teletherapy practice. You learn how to set up your business, get your branding right, attract more clients, and deliver engaging sessions, and keep kids motivated. With ready-made tools, templates, masterclasses, this course has everything that you need to grow your practice, starting at just $297, during this workshop. So as I said, these are the modules that we'll be going through. Module 1 is the busting through barriers. Module 2 is refining the business knowledge. Module 3 is achieving that expertise and attracting clients. Module 4 is valuing and marketing and client acquisition. Module 5 is expanding and achieving financial freedom and other means of other income streams. And plus module 6, which is the tech tools and the software. If I were to add all that together, each module is worth $250. So that'd be a value of $1,500. And on top of that, I have an online filing cabinet of speech and language communication resources. I've put all my knowledge and experience, my 30 years, all inside this ever-growing online filing cabinet of speech language resources that you could use online with your clients. Plus you get the website copy template. So if you're wondering, oh, what do I put on my speciality page and how do I write those words? How am I going to resonate with my clients? How am I going to be different? This takes you step by step of what to put on your home page, services page, about page and all that sort of thing. So if you were to add all that together, that would come up to $1,794. And then I've also got a new client onboarding kit. So if you're thinking about, oh, how can I organize my invoice? How can I take down my client call notes, goals worksheet, my code of ethics, or a case history form? All those things are all built into the new client onboarding kit. And then I've got templates for legal documents. Now this is, I'm going to put a proviso here, is I'm not a legal expert. And even though I'm married to a lawyer, he doesn't do this kind of law. So what this does is save you time with your lawyer. You do have to have your own lawyer. But you've got like a framework, you've got templates, you've got some ideas that you can put together, take them to your lawyer and say, what do you think about this? And so it saves a bit of time. And then we've also got a course creation planner. So I believe that everyone's got a course inside of them and it needs to be planned. So this resource will help you plan it all out. And then you can start using a software tool like Easy Peasy to actually, which is what I've done to create courses, to put it out there, and then you can sell the course. I've also got done for you content posts. They're on Canva, and all you have to do is change the words and the colors or pictures, whatever you want. But they're already, there's also 50 Facebook and Instagram carousel posts, Canva templates. And then we've got 11 brand board templates. And we've got some Facebook cover templates. So if you've got a Facebook page and you're going to, create what your business is about on this Facebook page, this is a business page I'm talking about, then people want it to look professional, and this will help you do that. And then we've got a branding workbook and workshop in there. So let me just break down all what you get in the Teletherapy Thrive system. You get the Brave system modules plus the tech tools. You get the no print digital resources for speech therapists, the deluxe website copy template, the branding worksheets for your business and the workshop. You get the course creation planner and evergreen webinar training video, the new client onboarding kit, the done for you content posts, 90 Canva posts in total, 11 brand board templates, and the legal document templates, and the Facebook cover templates. So all of that you get. And if you were to add all that up together, that would be a total of $2,573. But today you're getting it for $297. And if you get it in the next 24 hours. You'll also get a free one-to-one consultation about setting up your business. We'll go through the pricing calculator that I shared with you. We can talk about your website if you want as well. And so that bonus is also there. And I've got another fast action bonus that if you join today, that you'd also get the free masterclass on how to create a mini course and irresistible workbooks. So think about your life 5 years from now. What do you want for yourself? What do you want your life to look like and feel like? Let me know in the chat. What do you want it to look like? Because I know that when I started in all those years ago in 2005, I knew I wanted to spend more time with my family as they were growing. I wanted to be able to earn more and work less, because I wanted to have the freedom to travel with them, to take them on holidays later down the line. I had to do homeschooling. That wasn't something I'd planned, by the way, but I needed to have that income to make sure that I could pay for something like that. But what do you want for your life 5 years from now? Okay. Can you all, are you still connected? Can you all see me? Right. So my secret words are my future vision. So what you need to do to get your bonuses, your free bonuses for this workshop, is just to email me, bev@mavenbusinesshaven.com, and type in there the secret words, my future vision, and you'll get the one-page business plan, the SOAP template, and the workbook that goes alongside this workshop. And this workshop will be, the replay will be available for 24 hours. Okay. So if you have any questions at all about the Teletherapy Thrive system, then just reach out. And you can secure your special rate plus all the bonuses here. So if Bless can put the link in the chat so people can see it. I will just stop sharing my screen here. What I wanted to share with you was this is where you would go to this link. I will just copy it and put it in the chat so you can all see it. Can you all see that? Okay, so when you go to this link and you scroll down, like if you click here, you scroll down and see, it tells you a little bit of what I've done in the past. And then we will, if we click here, it should take you down to, you've got a choice actually. Let me just show you the choice, because there are two ways. There's two things you can do. You can get the Telepractice Thrive System course here, which is $297. Or you could get the Done For You website package, which means that you get the Thrive system built in at no extra cost, but you'll get a fully Done For You website designed by me. I'm a therapist who just loves developing websites as well on the side, and you'll get customized website pages, the home page, the about page, services page, and the contact page. So there's 4 pages. It'll all be SEO optimized so that you have that strong online visibility and people can find you with those keywords. And also it'll be mobile ready, so that whether they're looking at on a tablet or a mobile it'll be optimized for that. And it'll be easy to maintain as well. So we will show you how to do that as well. So you can get that for $997, and there is a payment plan as well. So all you need to do is decide which one you want to go for. If you wanted to go for the Build Your Website, you click here. There is a video here that you can watch, and you've got a choice of paying it full or doing the installments for 3 months, which is $397 per month for 3 months. And you just put in your card details, and it'll take you to the next page, and we'll be ready to go. And we'll set up a one-to-one with you. I will talk to you. There'll be a form to fill out so that we know exactly what needs to go inside the website for you. Just to let you know that I also have a copywriter on my team and a website designer on my team. So, any other technical things, I do like most of the designing things and the copy things, because I'm a speech therapist myself, and I know what sort of things you need. But if there were any technical issues, there's also my copywriter and my tech wizard who can help you out. So I'm not doing this all on my own, but it is something that I feel really passionate about. So if there are any questions, just let me know in the chat. And I wanted to just go through. I knew some people had some questions, so I'm just going to go through some of the questions that we have. But feel free to put the questions in the chat if you want to. Okay, so just to let you know, this is the special offer today. Is the Teletherapy Thrive system is $297. And we're going to have some questions now. Some people have put in some various questions like, I'm not very tech savvy. Can I still do this? So this is absolutely designed for beginners. And we have step-by-step tutorials on the teletherapy platforms. And we have easy to follow guidance on digital tools and things like that. Another question that people have asked is, how much time does this program require? Well, it is self-paced. There are flexible modules, and it can fit around your existing workload. So it really depends on how much time you want to spend on it, in terms of, do you want to just do it all in a weekend and just, binge watch it? Or do you want to just go step by step? It's really up to you. And how will you access the system? Well, it is a secure online portal. So if I was to share with you the portal here, you can you all see that? This is the portal. So you would just scroll right up to the top. So you can see that all the steps of the Brave system has been divided up in here. All the modules are in there, and you just go through them step by step. The branding workshop is in there, the social media basics, a course planner, and all the tech modules are in there in phases, like creating a booking system. And then there's also planners in there, and the speech therapy specific framework, like how do I do assessments, how do I organize my folders, policies and things like that are in there. Planning, your resources, planning, organizing your case notes, resources online, making interactive PDFs, making a quiz without boom cards. We've even got the digital, no print digital resources. Just click here and sorry, where's it gone? And it should open up. It might start opening up. But all of those are in there, and we've also got the bonuses that you get, the 6 bonuses that you'll see on the sales page. So we've talked about the bonuses. If you look at I haven't talked about it today actually, but there are 6 bonuses here. So there's a bonus on how to make interactive assessments and quizzes, the 10 steps to make content to attract more clients, making videos for your website with ease and on a budget. And there's a bonus of converting boring PDFs into interactive activities. And then there's bonus of making a vocabulary assessment interactive without breaking the bank. And then there's a demo of the teletherapy platforms and their functionality. So there are all those bonuses as well. Is there a guarantee? Yes, there is guarantee. It's a 7-day money back guarantee. No questions asked if you're not satisfied. So if there are any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. So in terms of making your LLC practice HIPAA compliant, what you do need to do is to make sure that you get in touch with your local area, your local legal advisor. I can't advise you on legal matters really, but if you have, your professional body will be able to give you guidelines as well as your legal services. So as I said, we've got the full pay in full. You get that bonus, the one-to-one consultation with me in the next 24 hours, and also the free masterclass on how to create a mini course and irresistible workbooks. And that's all for $297 today. So the link is in the chat. So there we have it. Okay, so it's been really lovely seeing you all. Thank you very much for staying. And if you have any questions, send me an email to bev@mavenbusinesshaven.com, and I look forward to seeing you. Thanks again. Bye for now.